Hi, we are going to look at some punctuation rules, and we're going to start with introductory words or phrases. These require a comma after them. So we use a comma to separate the introductory word from the independent clause. So here we have two independent clauses in the second part of each sentence. The cat stretched luxuriously in the sunshine, and I'll use my umbrella. Those are both complete sentences. But notice the word here is the introductory word meanwhile. We use a comma after that to separate it from that independent clause. And here we have an introductory word group if it starts to rain, and we're using a comma after that to separate it from the complete sentence. Next, we're going to look at using commas between items in a series. So you can have words in a series, phrases in a series, or clauses in a series. And series commas are used to separate three or more of these in a list. So here we go. My favorite foods are cheesecake, comma, falafel, comma, and beets. For phrases in a series, we have the puppy chased the kitten under the sofa, comma, around the kitchen chairs, comma, and up the stairs. And for clauses we have, we went to the mall, comma, and we went to the movies, comma, but we didn't go out to dinner. So using commas to separate items in a list. Next we have commas to set off non-essential phrases. So non-essential phrases or elements, these are groups of words that do not restrict the meaning of the sentence they're included in. So here's an example of a non-essential phrase in a sentence. The president, who was born in Hawaii, will be giving the speech. Now, according to context, and we're assuming the context doesn't make the president being born in Hawaii relevant, if we have a sentence that can stand on its own without the non-essential phrase here, which we do, because if we take this away and just say the president will be giving the speech, that is an independent clause that makes sense. It can stand on its own. So this information is considered non-essential, but if it's something we're including anyway, we're separating it with commas. However, we don't want to do the same if there are words that are essential to the meaning of the sentence. So if you look at this example, we could take out these words that are bolded, and the sentence clothes must be packed for the hike is an independent clause. However, we're including the phrase which are durable. Clothes which are durable must be packed for the hike. In this instance, the phrase is essential to the meaning of the sentence because the person needs to know to pack durable clothes for the hike. So we do not put commas to separate this phrase from this sentence because they are essential to the meaning. Next, let's look at commas to set off transitional expressions. So transitions can be single words or phrases that come before or within a sentence. So here we see Hannah didn't understand French, however, comma, she got along fine on her trip to France. So however is the transitional expression, and we have a comma after it. The same here, we have the transitional expression of, for example, comma, she allowed her friend to translate for her when she needed help. So we put commas after transitional expressions. Next we have using commas to set off parenthetical expressions. And parenthetical expressions are phrases that interrupt the flow of the sentence. So here's our example. The Dodgers, as far as I know, were sold for $2 billion. Again, we have a sentence that can stand on its own without the parenthetical expression here. But if we're adding that expression in, we do want to separate it out with commas. Let's look next at using commas to set off direct address. Now the direct address comma is very important because it can actually save lives. You can see here in the example below that if we forget to put the direct address comma in, which is addressing the person being spoken to, it can completely convolute the meaning. So here is the incorrect version, let's eat grandma, when really what we wanted to say is let's eat, comma, grandma, indicating that you would like to have a meal with your grandmother instead of have her for lunch. So the direct address comma is used when the speaker is directly addressing or naming the person being spoken to. Next, we want to use commas to set off the words yes and no, and this is pretty straightforward. If you say no, put a comma after it. No, you can't have my Pabst Blue Ribbon. And if you say yes, you can say yes, comma, I think you're the most gorgeous man in the room. Next, let's look at using commas to separate question tags. So here are a couple question tags at the end of these sentences. I'm fascinating, aren't I? Or it's the best donut shop in town, comma, don't you think? So you can see these little question tags at the end are separated from the rest of the sentence by a comma. Lastly, let's look at using commas to separate mild interjections. So here's our interjections. Well, comma, that remains to be seen. Or, oh, comma, I think I'll take a cupcake to go. So pretty straightforward with this one as well. So I hope this helps you to understand where you might need to use commas in your writing. Review the video if you need to, and if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this helps you.